that. I didn't even want to look at that, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Just Booling. This is episode 36.
Let's fucking go. We made it,
They
baby.
they they say that I mean, we heard from some people that we about to talk about, but we heard from some people that once you get like past episode 36, man, that's like you done it. Like you're not small fry no more. You're not one of those ones that quit shit like that or whatever. So um, we didn't do that, but before the show started, man, before this episode started, before we started recording, we were talking about all the drama and shit that's happening with internet celebrities and stuff like that. Like
Man,
it,
2024 is the year heroes fucking fall, bro.
it is absolutely bananas. Like what the wrong choices can do to affect your career, basically.
I'm gonna go on record saying it right here, right now. Diddy did not kill himself next week.
Well, that's a whole nother thing, but we ain't touching Diddy with a,
10 football.
fucking with a fucking 10-foot pole with a condom on it. We
Yeah,
ain't
right.
but yeah, you heard what he said, and you heard it here. 10:21:24 9:25 p.m. Say it again.
Diddy did not kill himself next week.
No, he know too much. But that said, we chatted about how some of our favorite podcasters or some people that we've watched and people that we talked about have they're
Been in
falling. Yeah, like you
decline.
said, heroes are falling.
Yeah, man. Um, Shits and gigs. That was a big inspiration for us to get started. Like really.
Honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I've thrown some shit around. I've shown some shit around, the podcast here and there, but I've never done anything this long and this consistent. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of it was like, imitation is a nice form of flattery. I mean,
Yeah,
we're finding our own groove, but we're doing the 2-man show, feeding off of each other. Like,
being
we did that
being
based on
inspired by them, man. Like
and
it was.
inspired by them.
Yeah, I mean, they're. Let's not bullshit. I mean, they're role models, just like PewDiePie and fucking Dashi and all those other guys were role models for streamers and stuff like that. I mean, these guys, people like him, like no matter how you feel about it, Joe Rogan, fucking shits and gigs, whoever else has a podcast, like Bobby Lee, all of them, like they're role models, and to see that happen to them off of some, what I'm gonna go ahead and say is some bad choice on the back end, but honestly a setup on the front end,
Mhm.
I it hurts. It hurts a little bit. But at the same time, I can't say as a hungry young podcaster, I'm not waiting in the wings trying to take somebody's spot.
I mean, listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't think I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and we gonna be the new shits and gigs, but we certainly know not how to do dumb shit. Like in the end of the day, man, we may say some off the wall shit and have some opinions that may not, set well with certain people or whatever, but we ain't out here offending people on
Yeah.
purpose. We ain't
Like
out here with shits and gigs. What they did was like they a lot of people try to blame it on them not doing their research, but they got people to do their research. So to have them fall into whatever it was that they did and the apology videos and all stuff like that, like, I mean, best way I can say it, best way you're gonna hear from us, we're just not gonna do stupid shit, man.
that, and you know what? Fuck it. His name is Saint. My name is Sketch. So we're gonna lean into it. Fuck all the bullshit. We have a better community. Even if it ain't but a few of y'all.
I
Like
agree. Our
like
people are
we
fucking
don't
cool
have
as shit. The
a
people
bunch
we
of
associate with,
we don't have a
cool as
bunch
shit.
of fucking fickle, like vapid bitches that are only here for our looks. You don't know what the fuck I look like. You like my logo. So if you're here, then I value you, and you obviously value me and what I have to say. So that's awesome. Um, I don't ever. I'll be honest with you. I never want to attract that kind of person. Me and Saint were talking about that the other day. Just I've not achieved success, so take this with a grain of salt. But every time I see a successful thing blow the fuck up, it's always because it was self-contained. It tried to be its own thing, and it drew people into it by being its own thing. You never go to try and
Honestly,
please everybody. And when you get away from that is when you start, like they say, selling out. You start doing that Disney shit, or you start pumping out corporate fucking bricks.
listen,
Like the
man,
what is
that's
that white
exactly what happened to them
what is
when they.
that white girl song that's been going around recently, where it sounds like fucking high school musical style R&B, or like some like camp rock type shit.
The new Rebecca Black song.
I have no clue, but everybody says it reminds them of
I say that
the
because
songs
it
with
literally looked like High School Musical.
it
Um,
reminds them of the fucking Apple Shadow Dancers from all the iPhone commercials and shit. But it's exactly that. It's when you start getting into that sort of mentality where it's like, you can just do whatever you want to. You grab, any kind of fan base, or you throw it at anybody you can. You start to mold it to a faceless audience, and so your content becomes faceless. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I probably entertain all of like six people out there somewhere, most likely. But I really like
I'm not
werewolves,
even
and
gonna
I
lie to
really
you.
like this sci-fi shit.
My shit might be a little bit smaller than in real life. Okay, real life, yeah. I one hand, easy. If you and we're not counting kids and family that you can't get rid of.
Right.
One hand, six. Sketches at six. He probably pushing it, honestly. But me, us now, like we get to choose. We get to choose y'all, just like you get to choose us. And
Yes.
we don't have fuck shit and deal with fuck shit or entertain fuck shit.
Yeah.
We
Like
never will.
you'll never have to worry about that here. Like
What what
you can
what
get
I
some.
feel like their problem was is like you said, they were self-contained for a while and they blew up being self-contained. It blew up just being James and Fuhad doing James and Fuhad shit with Rim and Ellis and all that stuff like that. They ain't started getting all these shit until they started talking to all the other podcasts and letting other people control how they interact with each other and
Mhm.
they do shit like. And
I'm a,
God, to be perfectly honest, and there's gonna be people out there to say, and I agree with you to say, look, those those podcasts and those comments didn't do anything but bring out who they already were, type shit. Okay, true too. But if anything, you would listen to them and watch them and knew some of the stuff you knew already.
that's my biggest thing. Is like they were in a precarious position because no, their fandom wasn't the best. I mean, I I can say this because I've been to a fucking show. I've been in their comment section for as long as I've been
We
watching
are
them,
in a
and I've
very, very good
yeah
position to comment because we have experienced them in all
yeah
mediums.
I've experienced on all medias, and I know what the fan base is. Um, so I cannot blame it all on James and Fuhad. Like I can't do that. But at the same time,
I
know
I
your demographic. Know your
I
demographic.
agree that the Andrew Schultz show was not a good look.
That was
They
that was a setup, bro.
that it feels slightly set up to me, but that's neither here nor there. What got them is the shit that they had them take out of the show. That's what got me. I was like, okay, I hear all this shit, but I don't know what's going on. And then you get all the facts and say shit. They went and they wanted their producer and said, come in. Their manager said, we can't have this. We don't want to be associated with this. It wouldn't have taken me long to listen to that podcast and be like, yeah, that needed to go too.
Yeah,
And that's a little, y'all probably had other moments, shit like that, but yeah, you can't see what he's trying to do, what he's doing right now. I don't want to be no part. I want anybody associated with that.
to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've kind of fallen out of favor with the comedy scene anyway. Um, just because of oddly enough of the podcasters that were comedians when we were coming up. So like Andrew Schultz, um, what's his name? Not Andy Dick. What is the guy with everybody on stage with what's the guy? Shane Gillis. Um, Tom something. He's like he's got a very like sassy way about him.
Hmm.
can't remember his name to save my life, but it's like you've seen, the clips I'm talking about, because it's like they're always on stage and he's always talking mad shit, and it's like there's always a black dude on there, and recently there was like a chick in a
They sit
wheelchair.
behind a table.
Yes.
And it's kind of like random comedians that be doing
Yes.
shows.
It's like
I know
random small
what you're
time
talking
comedians.
about. I don't know what their name is.
I hate that fucking show. I hate that fucking show because everybody behind that desk, I do not jive with. Like I can understand that they're funny, especially like Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is like a guilty pleasure of mine. He's just fucking funny, and I've known dudes who talk and think like he acts on stage, and it's fucking hilarious. Nothing good comes from letting those guys have any kind of responsibility, but they're fucking funny. But the rest of that panel, including the guy who leads that shit, I cannot stand because they all seem grimy. They all seem like the Andrew Schultz type. Andrew Schultz, Pete Davidson, fucking what's his name? Fucking Zach Galifianakis. Or not Zach Galifianakis. What is his name? Is it not Dana White? What's Dana Vicious Cycle.
I don't know what that is.
Comedy Central. He's known for stealing jokes. He was in
Carlos Mencia?
No. This guy's his name Dana. He's a young white guy. Or he was a young white guy. I can't remember his name. It's how much I hate like that era of comedy. But yeah, I do not fuck with it. And hearing them go on Andrew Schultz anyway, I was already like, that's okay. Do you have to?
Do you have to?
Yeah, like that was your first choice.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I saw that's where the clip was from, I was like, that's weird.
And also, just a disclaimer: these are sketch/wonders thoughts and views. They reflect nothing about what Saint feels. These are just my opinions. I do not fuck with any of them, and if that cost me a podcast deal, oh well. I mean,
I don't care. Well, yeah, I don't. And y'all should know by now, my listeners, I don't fuck with nobody that he don't fuck with.
It's just I don't know them personally. I'm not gonna speak to their.
I forget her name because we don't fuck with her. But what's the lady that did the Star Wars Acolyte?
Oh, you talking about fucking lesbian headlamp? Leslie Headland.
Leslie Helen. We don't fuck with her either.
No, absolutely not. Fucking, I knew something was going on though when they announced her, because the biggest credit she has is, I think, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which has nothing to do with the themes of Star Wars whatsoever.
Shit, I've never seen that. I hear good things,
but thinking about the type of story it is, why does that? What about that lead you to think Star Wars? And this is coming from somebody who has severe ADHD. So don't come at me with like some weird, like barely tangentially connected bullshit. Like, I could find the connections if there was some. Like, there's yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about any of that bullshit.
We actually might, because I'm having a good time talking about the fact that when it comes to hold on a second. When it comes to social media and it comes to the way like, again, one viral video will get you all kinds of brand deals, and then the next day, like, for example, I saw this. There was this fisherman or whatever that Aiden Ross told him he was gonna give him like $200K if he survived on his boat during a hurricane. But then they found out later on that he had a criminal record. So like,
wait, so the dude that survived on the boat during the hurricane had a criminal record?
Mm-hmm.
So they
say they're not giving him money because he had a criminal record.
Bro, what?
Make it make sense. Make it make sense how Like
See, that's why you get
that was
shit.
another one. That was another one that I saw a while back. This also leads me back to like back when the NPCs and the begging and all that stuff on TikTok. I haven't seen too much of that. I think honestly, I think I may have done a good job of pruning my For You page and all this other shit like that because I stopped seeing, the people begging for money. I stopped seeing the people
Doing the NPC shit. I still
doing the
see it
NPC shit.
every
Well,
now and then.
I see NPC shit every now and then, but I don't see the people with the donations up. I used to see this one like dude and his girl that they willingly living out of a storage locker or some shit like that and asking for donations and stuff, living in tents and shit because job ain't what it is for them type shit.
The only two people I know of on YouTube or TikTok like that is one guy who like he doesn't ask for donations. People still give it to him. Um, but there's this I think he's a Samoan dude. Um,
Is he building shit out of wood?
yes,
That dude, yeah, he
I
doesn't like people giving him money. He asked
I
for them things.
fuck
He
with
said,
him
"Please don't."
all
I fuck
day.
with him heavy.
And there's another dude on YouTube who he does like outdoorsy shit. Like it's him and his fucking dog, and they're like basically like living off the land. I think he has like some kind of job or something like that, but he's always like out and about doing some like wilderness type shit. He's in like long time projects and shit like that. It's crazy. I thought he was homeless at first, but I don't think he is. I think he's just really committed to the bit. But I fuck with him too. They still send him donations as well, but he doesn't really go begging for it. But I fuck with those two pretty heavy. But I don't see a whole lot of like people ask for donations and shit like that anymore.
Nah, I do remember a time when it was bad when literally all you saw was people going in and it's just my cash app is here,
Well,
do this, do that.
that's also because they started especially GoFundMe. GoFundMe cracked down on a lot of that stuff.
What do you mean?
Um there because there was a rash of those people like online fucking starting GoFundMe's and like all this kind of good stuff. And it reached a fever pitch and like people were like snatching money from it. Like
But
people
I
were,
thought you had to wait for a while for
I don't pretend to understand it. All I heard about is the fallout from it.
no, because
'Cause
I
I
remember
left
like I thought you had to wait till that shit like funded. So I never
yeah,
saw the point.
me either. But from what I understand, it was a lot like the OnlyFans collapse, where it's like people were like promised things and whatnot, or like they gave a certain amount and it didn't come through, or something weird. But either way, somebody was getting money that they weren't supposed to be getting, and people were not happy about it, so they started cracking down on it. So that might be why. Like I said, I don't get into it. I just happen to see a bit of the fallout from it. But I
It's
also think people are just getting smarter too because
a
we,
different
we,
way to
we,
scam.
we've talked about this before. I can spot a link tree from a mile away. Like you show me one TikTok, I can spot a link tree, bro. Like or a hoobie. Like it's crazy. Like I remember thinking to myself, scrolling through Instagram, my clean Instagram, and thinking to
You
myself,
have a dirty Instagram? We'll talk about that later.
but just going through and like I've clicked on a cosplayer that I just follow everywhere anyway. And it hit me as odd. It was like, why do you have a Cash App in your bio? I know you have a Patreon. And then I started thinking about it, I was like, how many times have I seen a Cash App in a random Instagram chick's bio? And for what? Because half the ones with the Cash App fucking links to all that don't have link trees.
I come from I'm not gonna say I come from, that sounds weird. I remember a time when people just knew that if they put that shit in their thing that even though weirdest I see girls on Twitter that say shit like uh $15 DM fee.
What?
Yeah, man.
Okay, this is
These Instagram models and these TikTok girlies, man, they yeah, $15 DM fee or $25 unblock fee.
see
Why?
now I understand why I was necessary. God, that's so grimy. Wow.
Yeah, man. And look, it ain't just girls too. I've seen this on guys. I've seen
No,
uh
the bounties came out for them too. I just didn't take many of them.
I don't know. Well, yeah. But I feel like with the way social media is going to these days, have you watched any uh Black Mirror?
No.
Mm. There's this particular episode of Black Mirror. I think you and I should watch together. I wish if I had known that we were just gonna be talking about social media, I would have watched it. But it's basically lives in a world where you're one or two people. You're one of the people I think these people were on like motorbikes. And they basically powered the place. But the real deal was fucking being a social media star. And the social media stars got better things and they got better rooms and whatever. But you also had to do like weird ass, crazy ass shit, like fucking, you know, eat shit or whatever.
Oh, like Fear Factor.
Kind of, sort of. And
Okay.
so I feel like at some point that's going to be what your worth may be measured in your social media presence. But at the same time, I'm also believe that one day, one fucking day, dude, none of this shit gonna mean nothing. What you that you know there's fucking bars and places that have uh follower limits.
Yeah,
Follower limits. You got to have 1 million followers to be able to get in. What the fuck?
bro, I'm telling you, all this shit. They've been talking about all this shit in popular media, in like fantasy and sci-fi. Look at back in the 80s. Case in point, you've seen the Dark Knight Returns, right?
Yeah.
The cartoon one.
No,
Okay, the with the huge fucking Batman voiced by the RoboCop and the little redheaded Robin, the little girl.
I will add it to my
Okay,
list.
absolutely. It's a great fucking trilogy, but it's basically 80s post-apocalyptic Batman, post-apocalyptic Gotham. So it's
Okay.
like if 1984 happened. It's crazy. It's all about like anti-fascism and stuff like that. It's drawn by Frank Miller. It's a great bit of reading, great bit of watching too. Um, but specifically, the reason I brought it up was because it and other pieces of the time that kind of preach towards the dangers of the future. All the punks had like weird they had wicks, bro. They had wicks and twists and shit like that.
Okay.
And like but like they had fades and shit like that on the sides. So that all the like the styles that like black kids are wearing now, like the punks were wearing that back in the day. The kid punks. Think about
Okay.
that now. The back in the day, especially in Japanese and Asian media and cartoons and stuff like that, but also in things like Escape from LA and like um more like future retro post apocalyptic mediums, you had people walking around with fucking medical masks. Then COVID happened. Like it's crazy that all this kind of stuff happens, like fucking handheld phones and like the fucking slow evolution of our bodies towards fucking technology and things like that. We're needing blue light
Augmentation.
we're needing blue light filters in our glasses now. We're getting headaches, developing nerd neck. Like
What the fuck is nerd neck?
that's a colloquialism, but it's for people who like are always bent over at a specific angle, usually looking at their phone or a tablet or a keyboard or something like that, and they develop neck problems.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's a thing specific to our generation, like technology and shit like that.
Nerd neck, man. Yeah, that's new to me.
Yeah. But it's so wild. But with all this stuff was talked about back in the 80s, and like we were seeing it, and like we thought it was, we thought it was funny, we thought it was funky, but all this shit is slowly happening, but it's happening in like real time, but slowly. So we like, it happens. We're like, oh yeah, yeah, that's totally normal, and that was the whole point of why it was so scary back in the day. What's my favorite saying? There's nothing so bad as not so bad.
I know. Oof, I know you hate that saying.
Because it's always true, and I hate it. But yeah, man, 2024 is has been crazy.
I feel like, man, we have gone like
And it's only what
we
two.
we we talked about this briefly while we were watching Van Helsing, which is will be a topic of next week's episode about werewolves. But and honestly, that we'll be actually finishing out October with the werewolves. But anyway, we
Honestly,
talked about
I
it.
think we should do a bonus episode.
I agree. I agree. We will. But we talked about like back then, what they had to be afraid of was the dark.
Yeah, man.
And so now, we've gone from being afraid of the dark and making up stories about werewolves and vampires and whatever to our
Be
worst
afraid of
thing
dark people
thing is,
and make
is
enough
being
stories about
canceled.
them.
Yeah, or being canceled, or fucking being told that like I don't I don't know, man, that your shit isn't cool.
Brother. It's simple, brother. It's very simple.
Shit, we
The
gotta
people that people that were making fun of us for liking the shit that we got made fun of for are popular now. They're the ones in power. The problem is that they used to get picked on too. So they got all that power and a fucking complex. That's literally all this is. But nobody wants to fucking call it out because it's politically incorrect or whatever. All I swear, all these social issues are like just compacted by fucking decade. If you just strip back the layers, it's real easy. So let's peel back the layer of nobody's threatening your feminism, nobody's threatening your body autonomy. Nobody's threatening your livelihood. You can get paid just as much as the guys. You should. There should be no division. You should love yourself. You should be able to vote. You're a person. Now that we've peeled back all those gripes, what else do you have? Anger, discontent. You are
at
upset
what in
by the
particular?
at, at, pick a fucking struggle, bro. Everybody is struggling. I'm not here to tell anybody that their struggles aren't real. I'm just saying don't take it out on us. It's it. Just keep that shit outside the fandom. Don't bring it in here. We come people forget we come in here to escape from the outside world. Motherfuckers are in Helldivers trying to not the Helldivers are Star Wars. There's a new Star Wars character out there called she's a clone called Sister. She's a regular clone like everybody else, but apparently she feels different, or they feel different. And so to honor that, the her fellow clone their fellow clones call them Sister. And
Okay.
remarkably, their the colors that they chose are all the same colors of the trans flag. Mind you, nobody has a problem with trans characters. The problem is you keep trying to put modern day politics into a galaxy far, far away. What is the point of having a galaxy far, far away if we can't get away from this other shit? The biggest point of storycraft and the biggest point of storytelling is to strip away all the modern day things that might incite any kind of issue or cause any kind of trauma, and instead frame it in such a way that everyone can get it, no matter who you are, no matter who what side of the fence you're on. That's why the hero's journey works, because everybody, no matter if you kick puppies or you raise them, everybody at some point has felt struggle. Everybody has felt down. Everybody has felt that feeling of climbing the mountain, and most everybody has felt the rush of triumph when you climb that mountain and achieve your goal. Like it's very simple. And the fact that we have to stuff it full of weird shit is just indicative of that person not understanding how to craft a proper story. One of my favorite examples of story of homosexual storytelling in any capacity, whether male or female, instead of having a character preach and harp about how gay they are and how pick an identity politic they are, have them come in, talk to their significant other about their day while the significant other is, doing something in the kitchen. They're doing their thing and they're just blah, blah, blah. And then they sit down, brief peck on the cheek, on the lips, and have a meal as a couple. That is the easiest way. What you just saw that in your mind.
We
I'm,
saw
I'm
that
I, guar-
recently.
I guarantee you just saw that in your mind. You probably saw two women, but
No, I
in your
saw this
mind,
because we saw this. We saw this portrayed like this in something
yeah,
recently. Because you commented, and you were literally like, "That's how you ease someone into that." Not, you know.
exactly, because it's like I didn't give you any kind of context as to who they are, what they did, what their particular alignment was on the sexual or neurodivergent spectrum. All you know is that they love each other. One had a hard day, one was willing to listen, and that they both sat down for a meal as a lovely couple. What more did you need from that? Where are the flags? Why do you need flags for that? Why do you need to beat your chest? Like craziness. Sorry, I do get on my soapbox every now and then. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
No, I got to stop that. But yeah, it irks me. And 2024 is, it seems like the fucking hotbed for all that, because they're trying to destroy every fandom they can get their hands on. Borderlands, The Crow, going through his
Fucking
fucking
Borderlands.
software.
Yeah, Crow. Borderlands. Borderlands. Fucking
That shit blow, bro. That shit blow.
Borderlands was a clear. It was one of the clearest signs. So you got two things that happen when you go out to make a movie and you make a movie right. Shit. What did we saw recently that was perfect? Oh, Wolverine versus Deadpool versus Wolverine was good. Was
Yes.
great, actually. That's how you make a comic book movie, especially those particular characters and doing and those characters being who they were. That's how you make a fucking superhero movie. The Crow, fucking what's the other one? Damn, you just said it.
Borderlands.
Borderlands. It's a clear. You guys, these studios do not realize how fucking obvious it is when you guys decide that, hey, we don't care what the end result is. We all gonna get paid regardless.
Somebody's been saying that recently about all the newest Marvel stuff, like Agatha All Along. Somebody's been saying that the production just looks like everybody just nobody has any chemistry. They're just, we're here to get paid. We're gonna do this for fun. We're gonna run out the fucking time on the clock, and we're gonna go home. And what's crazy is I think some of them are right. I've been hearing rumblings about these studios getting rid of people left and right and canning these projects, especially Disney. Disney has a bad habit of delaying projects and stalling them out until the like interest for them dies. And once interest for them dies, they have no real obligation to like keep it open.
So they literally like get like the fucking hype from something, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make this movie, or we're gonna make this whatever the fuck. oh, we're gonna put some toys out in between here and there, yada yada yada, but then nothing ever gets made.
But what happened to the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie? That shit was announced like what, 2, 3 years ago. We won't see that shit
Oh
because these.
yeah.
But and that the thing is, most of these projects are announced at like the height of these people's popularity. So like when the Ray movie was announced, Ray was like, she was still like at the height of her Daisy Ridley was at the height of her popularity. Fucking same with Taika Waititi. Um, Same with Lesbian Headlamp. Honestly, everything. Like they grab these
Are you
fucking.
saying lesbian headlamp?
Yes.
Okay, I was making sure that's what I heard. Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. I don't know who's on their marketing team, but whoever it is needs to stop and like get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
What's that? Oh, that's that Michael Jordan meme.
Yeah. Man, and social media is fucking on
That's for
fire
this.
recently. I don't even want to talk about chunks. Like that is
Oh, Philly.
or Philly, yeah. I know chunks is hurting.
That that in itself was surprising to me because, like, I didn't. You don't hear.
I'm still waiting to hear if it's like 'cause I don't know anything about it. I'm still
I
waiting to
don't know.
hear
Last
if
thing
it's
I
confirmed.
saw that they said the Australia was saying they had whatever CC footage that they needed or whatever to, but
Um,
but
all
again,
right,
I don't.
all right,
You take I'm under the impression that under any you take these allegations seriously, but then
oh,
also you
absolutely,
gotta so
yeah.
you just
We'll.
gotta.
I'm always on a wait and see because who did they say that about recently? They were like, yeah, we got him, and then come to find out, like we didn't really have shit. It'll come to me in a minute, but somebody was going through some recent shit. I'm like, what? It wasn't Aziz. That was a while ago. It'll come to me in a minute. But nah, dude, 20. Yeah, this.
We say all this and talk about all this to say that, like, we really appreciate you guys vibing with whatever it is about us that you enjoy, and we don't ever plan to disappoint y'all in a way.
Absolutely not. I'm here to do one thing. I'm here to entertain, maybe inspire, maybe make you think, um, and just bring us together. Really, like there's a lot less togetherness in our community than people think, and I just want to like maybe not wake people up, but make people aware and help bring us together. That's my main goal. Make people laugh, bring us together, inspire.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, shameless plug. I know, but please and thank you. Check out my TikTok. I got some dope little shit on there. Little Space Marine content, some Helldivers content coming soon. But please check me out.
Yeah, links will be below as always, as well as links to obviously we plugging ourselves. He's making dope videos on his Wonder channel. Please check that out. Link below, in the description. Also, I have been streaming a lot. My numbers going crazy, so I plan to be doing that a little bit more. Me and Sketch already talked about games we're going to play. I
Yeah,
do want to make sure that I play a little bit more. Do feel like I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna like play next month, because my schedule, well, my mental timeline is I'm biding time until they announce Metal Gear. I'm hoping it's between the next two
word.
months. Metal Gear comes out, that'll be what I play. But in between, I got really nothing, so I'm hoping to maybe pick back up Final Fantasy, maybe play some Final Fantasy. But come beginning middle of January, for the foreseeable future, it's Monster Hunter World and Iceborne until Wilds drop.
Absolutely. Here in the next week or so, I'll start back streaming Helldivers again because we got the end of the 60-day patch. And I'm eager to test everything going on there. We got new enemies coming in the Jetpack Brigade. We got some new updates coming in on the Gloom. And hopefully some new narrative points coming up here soon. More with the DSS coming. It's looking like a very exciting time for Helldivers and Space Marine. Apparently tomorrow we're supposed to get a patch because that last patch was ass, bro. The so unfortunately because there's PvP in the game, the player base can be a bit divided and skewed. Um, PvP players have been saying that the game has been too easy on certain modes and things like that, certain weapons and blah blah. The developers listened, um, and so they introduced this thing. I don't know if you heard anything about Dark Tide, but there's this mechanic in Dark Tide called coherency, um, where you have to basically stay in a certain range in order to get benefits like re-upping on health and things like that. Um, you won't be able to like heal and stuff like that. It's crazy. It works very well in Dark Tide because you kind of have to stay together anyway to survive because you're regular fucking humans. Like I think you can be a psyker or a fucking an Ogren, but that's about it. And you're fighting like hordes of fucking like corrupted Nurgle corrupted mutants and citizens and daemon hosts and beasts of Nurgle and shit. It's wild. Um but they introduced it in the Space Marine. The problem with Space Marine is, um, for like the tactical and the bulwark, that's fucking perfectly fine. But for the assault and the vanguard, that whole playstyle hampers us because we can't heal outside of a certain amount of time. And as a primary vanguard player, my whole point is to break the fucking line. I don't need to be with the group unless I'm not breaking lines. Like my job is to go around fucking clearing mobs and headhunting. I'm the Majoris killer. Why would I need to be sticking with my teammates unless I'm in like a tight spot or something like that where we have to like, push through or something like that. Same with the assault. The assault should be up in the air across the fucking field, like putting hammer to ass. Why why are we suddenly trying to impose coherency on these squads when they're like you have specific roles? Like, it's so weird. But
I get it.
they're gonna be fixing that here soon. I'm excited to see that. I'm also excited to see if we get any buffs towards bolter weapons because as much as I do love the melter gun, I am a huge fan of bolter weapons. I have been ever since I got into to 40K and read about 30K. Like for those of you into Warhammer, just getting into Warhammer, and for those who have been in it and don't quite know, the bolters are basically made to be like in history, like the old arquebuses and shit like that. They were that important. Like the sound of them, like to the point where the way they're described being made, like the reason they were made to sound the way they sound, is exactly how people like Oda Nobunaga described the sound of the Tanegashima rifles. Just the rumor of these fucking weapons going off, the smoke and fucking light, it just sounds like fucking thunder coming from a stick. That's the sound you get off of these bolters, and they are like the Emperor's like blessed weapons. Like these things are like they're his make, and they're supposed to be like they're the signature weapon of the Space Marine. Why are we doing fucking marshmallow damage with these things? Like why? I get the bolt carbine. I get it. But like the heavy bolt rifle should be putting holes in niggas. I'm sorry.
We
Like I
probably need to
feel.
jump on that tomorrow for sure and play.
Oh, absolutely. I am so down. Um, but yeah, like stuff like that. Like Saint plays the sniper class. The last fusel is the best weapon in that weapon tree. And I mean for good reason. It's a fucking last fusel, but at the same time, he's got a fucking bolt stalker fucking bolt action rifle. Or sorry, a bolt gun sniper rifle. I forget what it's called. But he's a Primaris eliminator. But they have all kinds of crazy ammo and shit like that. They're basically like Mindy Vindicare snipers. Like once again. So we'll see how that goes. But beyond that, beyond the weird kind of difficulty changes stuff like that, um, the game is fun.
We're gonna
It's
have
in a
to
weird
do
state right now, but it's fun.
a review once we did everything. We got a new mission, so
Oh, absolutely.
have to play that and whatever. We appreciate, as always, y'all listen to us go on and talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. Again, we hope that you enjoyed listening. Please, please, please like, follow, subscribe if you haven't. Check out all of our links below.
We'll get you guys set up with a fucking donation center so y'all can donate to Saint to get him a remote control with a mute button for me.
A what?
Get a mute button for me so when I get
Oh,
going
nah, you straight.
too much on his Warhammer shit.
We'll talk to y'all next week. Appreciate it as always you taking the time to even listen. We have beyond all whatever. We really appreciate it.
We really do.
Y'all take
Thank you
care, and
guys.
as always, don't forget.
Have fun.
Later.
Peace.